I can't believe that I have to do this again. My audio wasn't working the original time that I filmed this video and I threw a massive fit about it, but it's okay. It's not okay, but I'm back to try to do this again. Hello everybody and welcome back. I am the Sovereign and this is my court. If this is your first time in attendance, hello. Please consider hitting the subscribe button before you leave our kingdom. Welcome to another edition of the Court Council, where we discuss world news and YouTube events outside of the other topics that occur here on my channel. And yes, despite my current sunshiny happiness, this is my second time filming this video because my brand new microphone wanted to, for whatever reason, not work. So I'm gonna just try to lay this down again for you, even though the first video was good. Oh, it was good, you guys. It was good. I got 2 videos to refilm now. Okay, you know what? We are back, I am here, and YouTube is being haunted by the resurrected spirit of Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson I have discussed several times here on my channel. If you would like a recap of things or my history with this content creator, you can click the link up above to get our full backstory and everything that you need to know. Shane Dawson is a content creator that could be described as an OG content creator. He has been on the platform for over a decade. He built his platform off of family vlogs and skits that amassed him millions of subscribers. But last year, it came to the light of the YouTube community at large. Shane Dawson's old content was largely built off of offending different groups of people, but his favorite group of people that he loved to offend was the Black community. Now, in this video, I do not want to brush over the issues that we have with the P word that I can't say on YouTube, but I'll give you guys some hints as to what that is if you don't know. So on top of just being completely offensive to the Black community, there's the child P word issue.
For my movie, The Collective, and I told them, you know, Shauna, I really want her to have a channel, and she has a lot of fans, and like, she doesn't know what she's doing, she doesn't know how to make a video, she's Black, she doesn't even know how to, she just slaps her keyboard. So.
But then it always scares me, because I'm like, if somebody stole my computer, you know how much blackmail they would have on me? I mean, the fact that I haven't been on To Catch a Predator yet is like a miracle. On a side note, you're probably...
It turns to me and goes, oh, are you Instagramming? And first of all, how does a 5-year-old, 6-year-old know what Instagram is?
Right.
Which is terrifying. And she goes, oh, I'm a cheerleader. And I'm like, oh, really? And she shows me her Instagrams, which are like, first of all, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like, she's like sexy. She's like sexy.
You're disgusting.
I know. Listen, we've talked about pedophilia
this
before.
is Shane. Like, do not say this, and like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, you will get arrested. Like, he kind of can.
Listen,
he
allegedly,
has this justification for pedophilia,
okay,
and it's so disturbing. And like, I just pretend that he doesn't.
Okay, wait, no,
like,
no. Let me explain. Let me
no.
explain.
Oh God.
Here's my justification for pedophilia.
I can't.
Here's my thing. People have foot fetishes. People have fetishes about, you know, everything. Fine, everybody do your thing. So why is it when somebody looks at Google's like naked baby on Google and jerks off to it, they can get arrested? I don't understand
because
that.
You see, Shane Dawson's content used to largely be laced with a lot of racism. And I mean hardcore racism, not accidentally saying the N-word during a rap song publicly. I'm talking he made skits designed to mock Black women and the Black community in general, but sometimes Black women to their face. He incorporated an actual Black woman that he would look at and sometimes call a N-word bitch monkey woman. I am not making this up. And this was a constant thread through a lot of his content. It wasn't 1, 2, 3, even 10 times. Throughout his entire career, he was doing this. And then clips of his behaviors toward minors resurfaced. Him using his young, 10-year-old cousins to sensually eat cocktail weenies to entice the predator people that may be enjoying his content. And, there's a few instances of bestiality because we can just throw everything that you would generally describe as disgusting into the mix. He dabbled in everything. What a diverse content creator, right? So creative. Once all of this came to light, it incited public outrage, including the outrage of celebrities. When Shane was viewed pretending to jerk off to Willow Smith's 12-year-old I whip my hair back and forth poster when she was a pop star. Jada Smith was pissed, as she should be, and so was her brother, and they sounded off against Shane Dawson online. The entire world erupted at him, and then he got into the scandal with Tati Westbrook, but people were done with Shane, and he was effectively canceled. Now, for those of you who want to whine in the comments section about cancel culture, you can shut up. I am tired of people talking about, oh, cancel culture this, cancel culture that. We can debate on whether or not it's a thing or not, which I would say it is, because there are people, hello daddy of 5, who have effectively truly been canceled. There are people who have been banned off the internet. Like, their cancellation is possible. But some people get mad at cancel culture because it forces them to speak up or take accountability for the bad things that they have perpetuated to the public or done to other people. So I don't really want to hear anything about, oh, cancel culture needs to stop. What Shane Dawson did is indefensible as far as I'm concerned. And if you're defending this behavior, I question your morals and ethics. Shane Dawson 100% deserved to be canceled, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. So Shane Dawson, after nearly 2 years of hiding from the public, has suddenly resurfaced with a new video entitled, what? The Haunting of Shane Dawson. And when I read this title, I'm thinking he's going to discuss his past and how it's seemingly haunting his career by constantly coming up every year, because every now and then some of these clips would resurface. He'd have to deal with a little bit of backlash, and then it would subside for about a year, and then he'd have to address it again. So that's what I was thinking that this was. So imagine my surprise when I sit down and watch Shane Dawson's first video in nearly 2 years, and it's damn near a giggly, fun, happy, sunshine house tour that barely addresses the issues that drove him off of the internet in the first place. And in the video, Shane is saying, oh, well, I don't want to dwell on the past. I don't really want to talk about the same thing over and over and over again. Shane. I left a long-winded comment on Shane's video because I cannot express to you how inappropriate this video is for his circumstances, but I'm going to try. So in this video, Shane was decrying about how his cancellation and the backlash and everything that was happening to him lasted for months. Like, it was going on forever, and it was such a hard, it affected him so much. So let me read you the comment that I left on Shane Dawson's new video. You're saying it lasted for months as if it's over. You come back giggling and making light of very serious, decade-long issues, thinking an apology is all it takes. You didn't step on someone's toes, Shane. You said you've learned, you've changed. Then you should have come back to the internet to explain to your fan base the far-reaching effects of your bad behavior. Why it was so problematic and hurtful. How you contributed to the normalization of racism. God forbid the child issues that I can't to this day understand why you went there. You and your therapist were sitting there giggling about things that legitimately made people cry. If you wanted to do some real soul searching, you'd have sat your butt down at a round table of Black people so that you could be taught the things you clearly still don't comprehend. Because what is this BS lighthearted video? Yes, people are going to hate you regardless, but that doesn't mean you don't attempt to make atonement for your garbage. That at least would have been respectable. Your series should have been Shane, cleaning up a decade of polluting the internet, exploring the harm you've caused, and cautioning others against your behavior. You do not deserve forgiveness. You put more effort into being a deplorable human being than you have seeking the forgiveness of the public. This video ensures the filth of your life will track across the carpet of every floor you tread on. The stench will fill every room, and no matter how hard you try to mask it with flowers or candles, every year people will drag you back to the pin where you belong. It's a good thing you already have a fitting logo. Now let's elaborate on what I said in that comment. Shane coming back and thinking that giving a simple "I'm sorry's" type of apology is enough. He seems to think that that is enough. And let me ask you, if somebody hit your car or legitimately did damage to your life, would a "I'm sorry" suffice? Would that be enough for you? Let me ask you, ladies, when your boyfriend, hopefully ex-boyfriend, cheated on you and come back and wants to apologize, is that enough for you? After the damage and hurt and pain that has caused of this man likely having carried on in his cheating behavior for a while before you even knew, would a simple "I'm sorry" suffice? This is what I meant when I said Shane's behaving as if he stepped on somebody's toe. I mean, in a simple, minuscule situation such as that, of course, an I'm sorry would suffice. But when you have carried on with damaging behavior for the span of a decade, you do not get to say I'm sorry and then sit there and complain when people don't forgive you. So those of you in my comment section who want to cape for this P-word person can cram it, because I don't want to hear it. Crown of Shade is out, and this is not a debatable topic as far as I'm concerned. I hate racism. Of all the things that human beings have created on this planet, racism is arguably the most hurtful, dumbest, ridiculous thing I've ever seen come out of mankind. I despise racism. And don't get on my comment section talking about, well, it was the times, because even back in the day, it wasn't that long ago. Stop it. Back in the day, people were coming at Shane, correcting Shane, calling Shane out. He didn't care until it started affecting him financially. And yet he carried on with the bad behavior. Understand this. Shane went years making, writing, building scripts, building sets, racist costumes. He put time, effort, and thought for years into his projects. And then he seems to think a simple 10-minute apology is enough to wipe the slate clean. It is not. When you truly do damage to someone's life, there is a semblance of atonement that must be made. You should be going out of your way to do your best to clean up the mess that you have made. I expected that Shane would put at least as much effort into cleaning up his pollution as he did to making it in the process. Shane polluted the waters of YouTube and refuses to grab a garbage bag. What action has this man taken other than a 10-minute I'm sorry to warrant the public's forgiveness? And once again, I just don't want to hear it from the people who want to cape for Shane Dawson, okay? Because it's easy for you when you weren't personally affected by what he has done. But Shane's 10 years of pollution has affected people's lives. I put a clip into my initial video about Shane Dawson when all this drama was going down, trying to show people the real world implications of what he has done. And this is one of the reasons I'm unwilling to tolerate people wanting to cape or fight for Shane in my comments section, is because I have to be affected by Shane Dawson. Shane does not seem to understand this. When he gets on the internet and perpetuates stereotypes and racism and all these mocking behaviors, and his audience sees that, his audience then goes to school and makes fun of little boys like my little brother who has dreadlocks, and they'll call him mop head and pull on his hair and completely make fun of him to the point where little boys like him come home and demand that their parents cut their hair because they're tired of the mocking behavior. They become ashamed of their hair type and texture because of the mocking behavior. And then those scars become internalized. They internalize that hatred, and also that hatred reflects onto their peers, so that when that little boy grows up, he starts looking at the other members of his community and starts looking down on them for having features that he was made fun of historically. It's internalized self-hatred. Shane Dawson perpetuated that.
This is gonna be the nastiest cum face thing ever.
Almost as nasty as the black girl's hair on the back of the box.
Oh.
She breaks down and has like a meltdown because she looks in the camera and says, "I'm so ugly."
So ugly. What?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are so pretty. You all shut up. Go in the room. When you look at yourself, you supposed to say, "I'm so pretty." You are so pretty. Do you hear me? You got the prettiest little dimples. You are too cute. Oh. No, you gonna make me cry. You're not ugly. Oh my God. Ariana.
Shane Dawson normalized making fun of Black people for their hair, their skin, and their culture, and made it so that all his followers thought it was okay to torture us. And then to this day, I have to sit on my platform and battle out his ignorant subscribers and followers who want to get in my Aquafina video and tell me why I'm being overly sensitive when Aquafina is making fun of the way Black people speak And don't we all know that's wrong? Like when people make a mocking Asian accent, I think we all know that is wrong. But y'all want to sit up here and fight and talk about, oh, it's not that big a deal that Aquafina is like mocking the Black community for how they speak naturally. You guys, I'm telling you, you can go look at the comment section. I have somebody in the comment section talking about, oh, that's so Black people are the only people that can speak with a ghetto accent now. And I'm like, right over the head, right the hell over the head. This is the issue that I'm seeing, right? Like you put it in your own comment. What makes you think it's okay or it's right to call the way people speak naturally ghetto, as if it's subpar, it's poor, it is unbecoming? Like you're outing yourself. And this is what a lot of people sound like when they want to defend Shane. Shane has yet to acknowledge the ramifications of his decade-long campaign against the Black community or anybody else that he's offended. And once again, I'm not trying to brush over the whole child issue, but I can't even wrap my brain around that to even have a discussion on what he was thinking, because even it's never been funny. It has never been funny. But it's people like Shane who want to make a mockery, make a joke, and normalize making fun of the Black community, which then affects our lives, because then Black people try to go get careers, they try to get jobs, and they find it difficult to be placed in a spot of authority because their peers or their coworkers or their bosses can't take them seriously. Black women wearing their natural hair can't be taken seriously or seen as desirable because Shane Dawson has perpetuated this negative stereotype that Black people are just unkempt and we're just ugly and everything about us is terrible. We're just naturally stupid. You've made it okay for little children to go to school and scar little Black girls and Black boys because of the jokes that you put online. The teenagers that used to be your followers have grown up to look down upon the Black community because we're all inherently stupid and like bananas and we're like, do you not see the effects that you have caused? Because to this day, I am still having to do battle on YouTube over the idiots that you educated. And a lot of people are going to sit there and be like, well, what do you expect Shane to do? Like he said, I'm sorry. He can't make up for the past. There is atonement to be made. As I said in my comment, there is a way, but he's not going to do it. But there was a way for Shane to come back from this and really put himself back on top. And I'm not going to say I had like an inherent bias. I don't like Shane. I don't like him more now, honestly. And I didn't think that was possible. But I am aware of implicit bias and I was willing to give him a shot because there was a way for him to come back from that. And when I initially saw his title, I really thought that that's what he was going to do. It is not my job to tell you racist folk how to make up for your sins. After you hurt, you do not get to place the onus on the people you hurt to help you clean up your mess. Okay? So that's not my job. But I will go the length of telling you how Shane could have come back from this because y'all lack imagination and Shane lacks will. So this is how this should have gone. Shane should have come back to the internet to do his series because he wants to do a series talking about the pollution he has secreted across the internet and how he was going to make attempts to clean it up. He should have been willing and ready to talk to his audience and educate his fan base on the real world ramifications of his decade-long disgusting behavior and how it actually impacted and influenced people's real lives. He had the opportunity to really educate his fan base and YouTube in general. And I think he honestly would have got a lot of support had he done this. He had the opportunity to sit down with content creators of color and actually hear and learn how hurtful and how impactful his career has been in a negative way. He had the opportunity to shine a spotlight on voices that do not get to be heard, whilst at the same time taking actual action to not only learn and grow, but help his fan base do the same, effectively repairing all the damage that he has done. This really could have been like a monumental educational thing for everybody, especially in the climate that we're in with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. Like this would have been his time to really revive his career and learn like in a way that no other YouTuber ever has. He could have done so much good to so many people. And then at the very least, people like me who despise Shane Dawson at this point could have at least given him props for truly taking action, truly doing something, not sitting on his cheeks and shrugging his shoulders and saying, I'm sorry, and think that that's going to repair all the harm that he's done, as if like that's all it takes, as if what you did wasn't significant. as if you accidentally slammed the door in somebody's face. I would have given Shane the applause, and I honestly would have supported his efforts. I would have supported his efforts and been like, this is what every YouTuber should have done. When you make such awful mistakes as Shane has done, this is how you truly take accountability. This is how you actually prove yourself. This is how you take action. This is how you make amends, is by listening to people, changing your behavior, and doing something about it, doing as best you can to repair your damage. But no, Shane gave us a BS video where he's giggling and talking with Rylan, talking about, well, people are going to hate me regardless, so I might as well not even try, right? Because that's what that means. He's saying, well, people are going to hate me no matter what, so if they don't accept my apology, then they never will. That does not absolve you. That does not mean that you don't try to make amends. You're just proving yourself to be trash, to not care, because you put so much effort into all that nasty crap that you put all over the internet, and then all you're willing to do is this little bit, and you think the public's supposed to forgive you. And I understand if you don't care, I guess, because you're not personally affected by Shane's, nastiness, but shut up when it comes to those of us who do care. You do not get to accept apologies on behalf of anyone. You do not get to demand things of anyone. Shane knows what he's done, and not only that, he's admitted to what he's done. What I'm saying is he should have made an actual attempt at making amends, which he has not. Okay, some of y'all remind me of the girls that take back their cheating boyfriends. Like, the boyfriends be like, oh my God, babe, I'm sorry. And y'all just take him back. Y'all just take him back. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. Like, I don't even care if you want to make amends, to be honest. Like, I ain't taking back a cheating boyfriend. Some of you are telling on yourselves because it is very obvious that you are that gullible and naive to just accept that I'm sorry. And you men, look, I wouldn't take you back, okay? But if you're a man and you did cheat on your girl and she's willing to even look at you after what you did, you need to show through actions, actual behavioral change. Because a lot of men sit there and they're like, I don't understand why she's so mad at me still. It's been like a year and I said I'm sorry and she still doesn't trust me and she still checks my phone and she still gets angry about it. It's because, and I'm sorry, does not suffice. It's not enough when you have caused that much hurt and that much pain to a person, because what you did was not a momentary lapse. It was contemplated. It wasn't accidental. You didn't slip and fall and cheat. That's not how that works. You put thought into it. So if you put thought into cheating, you need to put thought into repairing the damage you did to your girlfriend. I'm helping you out here. You need to prove that you've changed by being transparent, by being honest, by being attentive to her needs and understanding of her feelings, because that hurt is going to last and it's going to take a long time to come back from that. But you need to work. It is work to come back from that type of damage and hurt, which a lot of you men, y'all don't put in work. You really don't, which is why you don't deserve to be forgiven in the first place. But Shane damn sure hasn't put in any work. In this video, it really seems like he's making light of what happened. And that's what pisses me off. When I'm sorry about something, I come to people so sincere and contrite, because I truly, if I upset someone, it truly was an accident. And I will do everything in my power to make them understand that I truly meant no harm. And maybe I was just being too silly in the moment. I wasn't paying attention to their feelings. Like, I would come heart in hand to do what I could, especially if it's like a dear friend or a family member, which I've never been in the situation because I'm empathetic and I don't hurt people's feelings like that. But I would never just say I'm sorry and expect people to get over it. And quite honestly, I find it a little bit insulting that he would expect that of anyone. And don't insult me in my own comment section trying to tell me that I should accept his apology when he has put in no work to garner my support or empathy or forgiveness. Shane in his own video talked about how him and his therapist were sitting down giggling about his cancellation. Just giggling about it. Giggling about it. This whole video he was giggling, him and Rylan, as if what happened wasn't serious. Shane came back thinking that he was going to be able to sweep the roaches under the rug and they were going to stay there. 10 years of pollution and you thought you were going to shove it all in a closet and tell us all to shut up? Shane, this will not be the last time Shane's going to be dragged. This will not be the last time Shane is going to be dragged, because that is what happens when you do not appropriately address your problems. When you do not satisfy the public or the person that you hurt, their feelings of animosity are not going to go away. You have to do work and make reparations for that person to truly accept that you are sorry and to let it go. That's what Shane is asking the public for, is to just let it go. But he has made no work to facilitate that healing. So this will not be the last time that he is dragged by the public or me. And that's why I'm saying, don't be in my comment section. Like, usually I will be open to comments of different opinions or whatnot, but today this is indefensible. And I don't want to hear it. Crown of Shade, and I have all of the attitude today. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, you need to forgive Shane Dawson, because I've done more work and more videos talking about Shane Dawson than Shane Dawson has repairing his own problematic behavior. So no, I will not have it. I won't tolerate it. I won't hear it. I won't, just no. Every year, sometimes multiple times a year, people are going to drag Shane Dawson back to the pen where he belongs. And that's why I said it's a good thing he has an appropriate logo, because he will be wallowing in his filth for the rest of his life, or up until he finally gets the courage and the balls and the will to appropriately address his bad behavior and make the repairs that need to be done. You do not get to affect the world or people's lives for such a significant amount of time without putting in some sort of work and activity to make those repairs. In the comment section below, give me your thoughts. Do not cape for Shane Dawson, because there is no point. You are wasting your breath. You are naive and acting ridiculous, and I will not deal with your nonsense. But the rest of you, put your thoughts in the comment section below on what you thought of Shane Dawson coming back with this very lighthearted video as if nothing needed to be addressed. I'm just really curious at how the general public, who is not a part of his subscriber base, thinks. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and remember, I love you, I'll miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye!